Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Directorate General of Taxpayer Services, Mumbai and Ahmedabad Zonal Unit, and also NASIN Vadodara, I welcome you all to today's webinar on electronic cash ledger in customs. We have seen the effective working of electronic cash ledger in the GST, and hence the extension of this facility for payment of customs duty was very much on the expected lines. As the customs embarks on this historic step to facilitate the trade and adds another feather in its cap, we are pleased to bring the team which has been the backbone in bringing out the ECL module. I'm sure the interaction is going to be helpful for all the participants. Today, we are privileged to have amongst us the Principal Director General of DGGI, Directorate General of GST Intelligence, Shri Surjit Bhujbal. Bhujbal sir was born in Odisha, did his education from Odisha and also part in Delhi. He was selected for Indian Revenue Services, Customs and Central Excise in 1989, Civil Services exams 1988. Sir has a keen interest in academics and has acquired 4 master's degrees. MS in Chemistry from IIT Delhi, Masters in Technology, Chemical Technology again from IIT Delhi, MBA Public Policy from University of Ljubljana, and MS Business Administration from University of Ljubljana, which is in Slovenia, Europe. Ljubljana means beloved, so I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Sir is liked and appreciated for his hard work, acumen, professional approach, and fairness, amongst other qualities. He has served in various formations, to name a few: Central Excise and Customs, TRU, DGCI, DRI, Customs Preventive, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers and Deputation. He has worked across the length and breadth of the country: Hyderabad, Delhi, Bhubaneswar, Jamshedpur, Bangalore. So I'm sure after the participants hear you, many of them might be interacting for the first time. They would remember the word Ljubljana, and it would be a vocabulary addition linking to you. I'm also take this opportunity to introduce our other departmental panelist, Dr. Ashir Tyagi, 1994 batch officer, currently working as ADG NASIN in the Zonal Training Institute, Vadodara, and Shri Abhinav Gupta, 2004 batch IRS officer, who is the ADG in IceGate DG Systems, New Delhi. So with this brief introduction, I would request Shri Surjit Bhujbal sir to kindly deliver the inaugural address. Bhujbal sir, please.
A very good afternoon to all the participants and the panelists, and thankful to Dr. Rajesh Verma for this kind introduction, though I found it is a little long winding. So, but it is fine, and Ljubljana is the correct pronunciation.
Sir, thank you.
It's a lovely place. I think many of our participants today would have had the occasion to visit that country. There's something different, something very similar to India. But having said that, today we have all gathered, and I'm privileged that the Director General of Taxpayer Services has taken this measure to educate and to reach out to the stakeholders on this introduction of this historic facilitation mechanism by the CBIC. And very aptly said historic because the first time India is going to get this facilitation on board for the customs. So I also welcome my fellow panelists, Mr. Mulani and Mr. Shinde, Dr. Ashir Tyagi, my colleagues, Mr. Abhinav Gupta, Rajesh Verma and his team from the Director General of Taxpayer Services, and ladies and gentlemen who have all gathered here to be part of this webinar. Electronic cash ledger, very aptly, they've used everything which is encapsulating the features of this particular facilitation mechanism. It is electronic, it is for cash, and it is a ledger. It's of course, as we all know, it is the fallout of the provisions of the Section 51A of the Customs Law. And it will be a game changer in the sense that apart from being a feature of the Indian Customs Electronic Gateway, that is in short IceGate, it will be providing digital record of all duties and taxes which is to be paid by the importers and exporters. Now, while operating on this IceGate portal for various customs related transactions. We all know that this is going to be introduced from tomorrow, that is the 1st of April. And initially, it has been planned to be a two-phased transaction, which will be facilitated for the trading fraternity. Up to 30th of April, certain features are there, and beyond 30th of April, certain features where certain transactions are exempted to be operated under this 51A stipulations. But broadly, as we say, the major trading community are going to benefit from the 1st of April onwards. So, very limited manner, because I know we have got a very educated and very well knowledge panelists. They will take us through during the course of this particular webinar. We know that as we go and open a bank account, this also will require that we open an account on this IceGate platform. And the persons who are eligible to open this account would be across, as usual, our trading fraternity, our friends from the import-export community, also includes the brokers, couriers, the IEC holders, and a plethora of stakeholders. Having said that, this particular platform is going to be extremely beneficial. Now, it has leveraged technology. It is going to reform the payment process, and largely it is going to bring in ease of compliance. Now, this is very broadly, I'm just going to say, because the fine features will definitely be attempted by my panelists. And as we discussed today, already 12 banks are on board. Of course, internet banking would be the mode. We are operating through the NEFT and RTGS. As the days go by and as the experience gets gained, some more banks will definitely onboard on this, and the government will endeavor to put out more detailed advisories for the benefit of the stakeholders. And of course, beyond the month of May 2023, there is this initiative to enlarge certain functional features, which may include payments of charges, other charges for the participating government agencies, maybe other for filing appeals, etc., and some other features where the stakeholders will be required to make payments. The advantages of this, very broadly, if you look at from the common man's perspective, first of all, it is very convenient. You can be sitting anywhere across the country or anywhere across the globe and log in and do your debit, credits, etc. It is extremely transparent because you are able to view your own track record, what exactly has been paid for the transactions for the customs related work. It is time saving and efficient, of course, there's no going back on that, and it is cost effective. One of the larger objectives of the department has always been to reduce the dwell time. And one of the areas where this dwell time gets impacted adversely a little is the when the import permission has been given and when the payment of taxes is to be made. So that feature has been built into the sense the importer can now pay the tax in advance before the clearance of the cargo itself. It is extremely secure because it is encrypted and data flow is firewalled. The transactions are extremely reliable. We will obviate the dangers of transaction failures and blocking of our capital because of double payments, etc., which I think will be taken care very appropriately on the customs ledger. And it is going to be accurate because the person who is going to do it is going to do it as they want to see on the dashboard what is happening in front of them. Now, having said this, India, of course, is following the good experiences which we have gathered over the past in countries like the US, where the automated commercial environment has been put in place. United Kingdom has got a similar arrangement for the customs ledger in the form of the CDS. New Zealand has got this introduced some time back. Canada, of course, has got this terminology, electronic data interchange, a platform for facilitating this. Australia has got this integrated cargo services platform, and so on and so forth. So it is extremely significant that the features of this electronic cash ledger gets explained to all the stakeholders appropriately for a little bit of handholding and also to explain to them whatever difficulties they might face. We are extremely grateful to the Directorate General of Taxpayer Services and their officers. And as usual, they have put across a very rich knowledge base together for the benefit of our citizens and the stakeholders. And I sincerely do hope that you take this opportunity of this time available to interact with the panelists, to raise your genuine doubts. And I do hope it's a grand success. Thank you very much. I wish this webinar a very grand success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Uh, as you said, the participants may make use of this. We already have about 560 participants, which shows the enthusiasm of the people towards this new system facilitation measure being introduced by the customs. And thanks for your kind words. You reviewed, gave an overview of the whole system, the advantages of it, and the worldview across countries, how it has been implemented and how it is likely to benefit our own customs importers, the fraternity which is involved in trade. Thank you again, sir. And with this, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce today's trade panelist. Shri Shankar Shinde is the chairman of International Federation of Customs Brokers Association, MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies. He has done MDP program from IIM Ahmedabad on delivering logistics solution. He was awarded certificate of appreciation by Mumbai Customs on International Customs Day in 2017. He has also received an award at the World Trade Center from the Government of India Ministry of Tourism in the category of Best Customs Broker. He is a part of many committees like the World Bank on Trade Promotion, and he is working for Global Express Multi Logistics Private Limited. I would request Mr. Shinde to give us a small speech on behalf of the trade. Before that, I would also like to introduce Mr. Dushyant Mulani. He is the president BCBA Mumbai. He was instrumental in rolling out the single window project and has closely worked with CBEC, the erstwhile CBEC, for its effective rollout. He is a member of the Board of Trade set up by DGFT, is a member of PTFC and CCFC Forum at Mumbai, and as a part of BCBA, Mr. Dushyant Mulani has been proactive. Anybody who has worked in Mumbai Customs would know him and would have interacted with him in some way or the other. He is engaged in constructive dialogue with CBEC, DGFT, Ministry of Shipping, Civil Aviation, JNPT, field formations, and stakeholders such as MIAL, Shipping Line, shipping agents, BMC, and even as a part of the World Bank team. And he is a director of Khemji Punja Group, which has been in existence for over 10 decades. Now I would request Shri Shankar Shinde to address the participants. Mr. Shankar Shinde, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rajesh Verma ji, for the kind introduction. And it's always been pleasure receive an invite and have the interaction during your sessions. Today's inaugural address by Mr. Sujit Bhujbal ji, Principal Director General, DGG STI, New Delhi. It was really a great theme introduction which was put across, which is
Mr. Shinde, your
the
camera
dual
is
tech
switched off.
Right. Actually, I am having the bandwidth issue. Otherwise, I don't want to lose on the voice rather. So I'll just keep
Yes.
the
Okay.
camera off. Yeah, sorry for that, but please
That's
excuse me
okay.
from the camera. Yeah, thanks. And along with that, we have from EDD DG system, Ms. Chaya Boer, who has always been the at any point, any of our members requires any issues, they are every time alert. Mr. Gansham Jebji, system. So we have always been troubling them and getting the resolution, timely resolution, because of being the life consignments for clearance. Along with that, we have panelist Dr. Ashil Tyagi ADG Narsin, and Mr. Abhinav Gupta ji, ADG DG Systems, who has always been helpful in implementing new and requesting and always motivating to come out with new innovative ideas in technology implementation. Along with me, I have Mr. Dushan Mulaniji, my colleague. With this, I think so. It was a long-standing demand from our trade and trade at large, and this was a time of our which we have got it implemented. So the implementation will come. But with the today's webinar, I think so we'll have lot. Major system during the duty payment, we used to only have the major issues was the reassessment of the duty payment. So once it is reassessment, then the difference of duty was always a challenge payment, and then again the refund orders. So refunds on the excess of duty or duplicate of duty payment. So I think a lot of things would be addressed in this, and also on during the re-import stages. So during the re-import stages also where the credit was to be given for the duty of the import, I think so we should be looking forward in the next phase to how that it can be directly linked to the bill of entry and shipping bills. So that can be directly integrated. So there is nothing as such that we need to go anything on manual, because getting into manual is again the IGST system which does not accept anything in manual and creates problem for the trade. We had given the paper as to how this could work out in the benefit of trade, and I think lot of implementation would have been done with the introduction of this new system of duty payment. Uh, I think so. We will go to the webinar, and this will be help our trade and industry to follow. And we as AAA Trade at Large, we will always be supporting the systems and will be helpful and seeking more and more details or inputs from our members in providing the details as to how we can take it forward. No doubt it is a initial stage of implementation. We will have some of the issues, problem, but we are ready to accept it and work a little bit harder to have it a great success. With this, I would like to stop here and would like to hear of the other panelists for the introduction and the intro of this whole system, how would it operate, and later on we can conclude with the thing. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Shri Shankar Shinde. We are already having a look that people have started putting questions in the chat box. That's a welcome thing. All your queries, I hope some of them would be addressed as a part of presentation of Chaya Boyer. I would introduce today's speakers, Ms. Chaya Boyer, Additional Director, IceGate, DG Systems, a 2020 batch officer who is a BTech in Computer Science from GB Pant University. She has worked in Air Cargo, New Customers, Mumbai, Central Excise, Belapur, Customs, CGST and Audit Commissionerate at Indore, and has been posted in IceGate since October 2021, where she is looking after the functioning of Customs automated system, development of online automated module to replace manual processes in customs, and implementation of international data exchange policies or mandate of CBIC. Mr. Ghanshyam Jeff is a Deputy Director IceGate. He is again a BTech from IIT Kharagpur. He is an IRS officer of 2016 batch who joined in Ludhiana GST and has been working in IceGate since 2020. Over to you, Chaya and Ghanshyam, for the presentation, for which now I see 635 participants are looking forward to. Over to you, Chaya.
Very good afternoon to all. I would like to extend my sincere regards to Sir Principal DG, DGGI, for his inaugural session, as he has already covered a lot of things with respect to ECL, and only technical things are left to be apprised to the trade community. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to DGTS Mumbai to organize this webinar, which I hope will infuse confidence in trade community for using electronic cash ledger facility on IceGate portal. Now I will start. Just give me some time. I'll share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Visible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Today, we are on the last day of having our old e-payment platform available on IceGate. From tomorrow onwards, we'll be moving to eCash ledger facility, which will be altogether a new platform wherein NEFT, RTGS, internet banking, and e-wallet facilities made available to user. I will discuss the same in course of presenting. So I'll be covering these issues like what is overview of ECL, both statutory provisions and technical overview, then scope and the people who can avail ECL services, how to pay duty, how to use ECL, and what are the salient features which are incorporated in ECL. And lastly, we'll be covering workflow, will be giving a basic overview of how a user will be navigated on the new platform from tomorrow onwards. So, electronic cash ledger was introduced by Finance Act in 2018, wherein Section 51A was added, which provides for payment of duty, interest, penalty, fee, or any other sum payable under the provisions of Customs Act and Customs Tariff Act by way of electronic cash ledger. The same was notified by the central government in March 2022, and subsequently it was deferred, and now it will be made applicable from April 1st, 2023 by notification 99/2020. Technically, what provisions have been made on iState portal is, I'll just give a basic overview in this. As per the Section 51A, it says that every transaction, every payment towards duty payment for customs will mandatorily go through eCash ledger. So when user pays duty, all the heads, all the duty will be going first to the ECL account. Then from there, it will be sent to the or appropriated to the respective revenue heads. So this is the mechanism. This is the broad mechanism within the mandate of government. For this purpose, we have created, what we have done is we have created a virtual account on iState portal so that user can use it, user can see it, user can pay amount, top up amount in that cash ledger, and subsequently, as and when required, the same amount can be used for duty payment as well. Apart from being a wallet, being a kind of account, this will be this will be a mode of payment also, in addition to internet banking and NEFT RTGS on the payment platform, which is available on iState. We have done, since this is a sensitive module, to prevent any unauthorized access, ECL, eCash ledger facility services are kept post login. So user will have to log in for seeing or for viewing the transactions and the ECL account of that particular user. Further, for transactions in ECL, OTP based mechanism is in place. Now, ECL, what is covered under ECL? To what challans, what payments are covered under ECL? So all the duties, as I have already mentioned, all the duties, payment, fee, penalty, interest, which is covered under Customs Act or Customs Tariff Act, are covered under this scope. Therefore, all the challans which are getting generated by ICS application or the EDI they are covered under this electronic cash ledger. ECCS application challans to ECCS application for courier agencies also, it has to be covered under this. However, the same has been exempted by notification number 18 and 19 of 2023 by the board. Unaccompanied baggage will also be covered since the challans are generated by ICS application. Those also will be covered under ECL. Non-EDI locations for which no online challans are getting received at ISGate, that is also exempted by the same notification. Now, who can pay duty through ECL and who can avail ECL services? So all the registered users IceGate registered users can pay duty through ECL, through e-wallet, and avail ECL services. So since IC holders, CHAs are already registered and they can be registered on IceGate, this is applicable to them. If any of the users are not registered, they can come and get registered themselves in the IceGate and they can use the services of ECL module. Then courier agents also, since they are exempted, but from May onwards, they will also be covered under this ECL scope. Apart from these, any other person who is coming for, because there is no ban on duty payment. Anyone can come and pay duty for any consignment. So any person who is having a valid PAN number is also authorized to pay duty for the challans which are available on IceGate. So after payment of duty, when the particular user, PAN user, wants to see or want to access his ECL account, he has to get registered on IceGate portal as a user. Then only he will be able to view the ECL account or the ledger. But in the backend, every transaction is being maintained in the ledger, even if the user is not registered on IceGate. But to see the ECL, to see his account details and all the transactions which he has made, he has to get registered on IceGate. So what are the salient features? What functionalities? What is the technology we have used? Why it is of advantage to the trade? Is first of all, this is all API based solution. Earlier, our solution for internet banking was not API based, so there was some lag, which we usually get to hear from the trade that this much delay is taking place in updating duty or integration of duty in the EDI system. So now it is, since it is API-based solution, we are integrated with all the application, ICS, ECCS, RBI, Principal CCA, and banks. All the transactions will be on near real-time basis. So users will get real-time information updates and integration for duty payment. It is post-login functionality. It is there to prevent any unauthorized access. Then OTP-based utilization is also there. Now the most important thing which we have done in this module, we have made the mechanism in such a way that transaction failure or payment integration failure situation scenarios will be handled in much practical way, which will give a big relief to trade community from double duty payment. So when a duty is paid by the user, so since the duty is going to ECL, e-wallet or eCash ledger, then only it is going to the revenue head. So in case if the duty amount of payment is not integrated at the application and due to certain reasons like validity is changed and any other difference, any other anomaly, that amount will remain in ECL account, and subsequently user can get, if the user is registered, he can log into his account and use that same money for payment of taxes or duty. And if the user is not registered, he will first get himself registered on IceGate and he can utilize that amount from ECL and pay the duty subsequently. So this will be one of the most beneficial feature of ECL. Last is seamless and quick payment. In many cases, it takes time. If it takes time to pay duty, that money can be parked, can be kept in ECL for as and when the same can be utilized with very simple step. Only the user has to log into the system and he has to just make payment through that ECL. So that would be a faster that would provide a faster payment of duty by trade users. Now, the manner of maintaining eCash ledger, when that I've already explained that every transaction will be maintained in ECL. So the form is already prescribed by notification, respective notification, that every transaction will be maintained in iState in form ECL1. So any users who is registered and who is who is using ECL will be able to see his transactions in the ECL in this form ECL1. All the deposit, please be noted that all the deposits in the cash ledger are interest free. No interest would be there on any amount deposited in the ECL. Any deposit or any top up amount which is created for top up in ECL would be valid up to 15 days. So once the challan is generated for top up amount in ECL, that would be made available for 15 days. User can pay duty within that time. After that, that will lapse. Top up amount on ECL or the e-wallet can be made through these three modes: net banking, NEFT RTGS. These modes are available from NEFT RTGS. If the mandate form is generated, user can take the print of mandate form and get it deposited either through internet banking or from OTC or through directly from banks. So all these options are available to users. Manner of making payments towards duty. Earlier, for ICS users, only internet banking facility was available, through which the user could pay duty for towards customs payment. Now, with this platform, with this new platform, internet banking would be available, NEFT RTGS would be available, and payment through e-wallet would also be available. So now there are three modes of payment through which user can pay the duty. Every transaction will be going to, as I have told you multiple times, that every transaction will be through ECL account only. Even if user is not registered, that transaction, that payment towards duty will first go to ECL, and from there it will go to the respective revenue heads. Now, this is the most practical thing, what will change from 1st April 2023. So, old existing payment platform, which is currently available on iState and users are paying duty through that, will be discontinued. So there will be no old platform from tomorrow onwards. In place of that, our new API-based real-time ECL-enabled e-platform only would be available, wherein user will be having internet banking facility, eCash ledger facility from tomorrow onwards, and NEFT RTGS would be made available from 3rd April due to some technical maintenance activities being done at our end and RBI end. So NEFT RTGS would soon be available from 3rd April. These are the list of banks which are onboarded in phase 1. There are 12 banks. Users, currently we have 22 banks on old platform, but out of 22, only these 12 banks have been onboarded. And other authorized banks will soon be onboarded after subsequently after due process, after testing and integration. Everything will be taken care of in subsequent phases. And currently, these 12 banks will only be available for making payment. And from 3rd April, through other banks, user can pay using mandate form generated through NEFT RTGS. So, modules which will be part of next phase of ECL. So the first and the most important is Refund from eCash ledger. We are working on providing this refund facility on ECL platform on IceGate. So refund any amount which is there in ECL, user cannot currently, from tomorrow onwards, user will not be able to claim refund. But we are working on that. We'll provide this functionality at the earliest. Auto debit facility will also come in next phase. Then voluntary payment, as per the notification, voluntary payment is one area which has to be incorporated in ECL. So these three modules will come in subsequent phases. And refund base, yes, the first one will be the refund, which will be there in next turn. So this is requested that the users are advised that only the amounts which they have to pay in near future, in next few days or so, they should deposit only that much amount, because refund is not available currently. Now this is the workflow how the user will be navigated on IceGate portal. I would request my colleague Ghanshyam Chef to take over and please brief on the navigation, how the user will navigate on website for duty payment and for top up amount.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So I have seen that a lot of questions have been asked in chat box by the users that kindly give us the demo. So it will be sort of, this workflow will be a kind of demo only. I'll be taking you through that how you'll be logging on IceGate and how one user can activate their eCash ledger, how to top up the cash ledger, how to pay the duty via various modes of the payments. So this is a home page of IceGate where you'll get an icon or menu where user will click for login. So once user logs in via the credentials, this screen will work for only those users who already have the login credentials for IceGate account. So here user can key in their username and ID and password and they can log in. So when they enter inside after logging in at the IceGate portal, they'll get this drop down and it will show as an ECL module. You can see that ECL icon is there. So once user clicks on the ECL icon, they'll get a new screen to activate their ECL account. So this is a screen where users need to create their account. So basically this facility has not been activated right now. From tomorrow onwards, all the users who are already part of IceGate ecosystem or those who have the password and login ID for IceGate, they'll have this functionality. They can simply log into their account and they can activate their cash ledger account by simply clicking on this icon. Now, once user approves their request, the account or the cash ledger account will be created, and you can see that this is the dashboard where user can see that his account has been activated. So now, suppose a user wants to add top up the money, so he'll click on the add money to cash ledger. So we are topping up. So this is a form where user will key in the details for the amount of top up he needs to do in the cash ledger. Once he fills in these details and proceeds, he'll be directed to this next slide where the challan details will be shown, and user, you can verify the details whatever amount. If you want to go back, you can also go back and you can change the details whatever you want. And then once user verifies these things and clicks on pay now, user will be directed to next screen. So here this is a next screen where user will have three modes of payments to top up the cash ledger. One is NEFT RTGS, second is RTGS, third is net banking. User has to create a mandate form. So this icon will be available to users. User once clicks this mandate form, a mandate form will be generated and user can proceed for top up of the eCash ledger via these three modes: NEFT RTGS, RTGS and net banking. So now this, once a user had made the top up, because see this activity of top up and payment of duty is going on via API, so it will not take time. It will be within seconds. IceGate will get communication from the bank and user's account will be updated and user can see this dashboard where all the transactions of top up debit, credit, and summary transactions will be shown to the user, and what is the current balance of the wallet. So they can see that what all activity has been performed in the eCash ledger of a particular account. So now we'll move on to the next page. This is a MIS report where user wants to select or needs a passbook kind of details for a particular duration. Suppose user wants to see the details of transactions, whatever has been performed through the cash ledger, they can select the start date and end date and they can get the details. So this ledger will be available with the user. Whenever they want to check, they can come and they can check the whatever debit, credit, and duty payment has been performed through the eCash ledger wallet. So now we'll go to the duty payment module, how user can use a particular mode to pay the duty. So this is a home page where users will land up and they will click to e-payment portal of IceGate. Now we have two menus here, e-payment of customs duties and one is NEFT RTGS for ECCS. From tomorrow onwards, there will be only one icon which will highlight that it's an e-payment portal of IceGate, which will have NEFT RTGS, internet banking, and ECM. So once user clicks on that icon, user will land on this page. As you all are familiar with this is similar to whatever page we have present in production. You'll fill in these details and you'll have two options here. One is IceGate ID. We have created one option here that those users who have IceGate ID available with them, they need to select that icon, and those who don't have, they'll select no. So once user fills in these details, then submit and user will move on to the next slide. So these are the challan details. Once user filters out, this will be a page where user will be brought in. So he can select these many challans to pay the duty. He can select multiple challans to initiate the duty. So once user selects those challans, now user will have these four options to pay the duty via NEFT RTGS, NEFT, RTGS, net banking, and cash ledger. So if user selects cash ledger, here itself user will be asked to provide the login credentials. Once user keys in the user password, he will be verified and he can click on the pay button, and then user will get a OTP, so that whenever user making a payment via eCash ledger, they will get a OTP before any debit from the eCash ledger. So once user verifies this with the OTP, this payment will be performed and use in the ledger, the amount will be debited. But suppose there is a balance amount is not there in the eCash ledger, so he'll not be allowed to make a duty payment. So user will be allowed to make a duty payment via NEFT RTGS. User can, or internet banking. User can proceed with the NEFT RTGS or internet banking to pay the duty. And when user perform this task, so whatever amount, as ma'am has already informed, that this duty, whatever being initiated by NEFT RTGS or internet banking, will be first debited from your account via internet banking or NEFT RTGS, and it will be credited to eCash ledger or wallet which has been created at the back end. If user has already created, like I have shown you, that if user has already activated in the IceGate account, so it will be available to users. If user is not activated and user is not having this account, then user will be at the backend. For user, this ledger will be created based on the PAN, and subsequently this, after the credit, the debit entry will be performed and it will be communicated to our application ICS or ECCS for successful payment. So this was the complete flow where users can pay duty via ECL or net banking, NEFT RTGS. Now, broadly we have covered. If there are any questions, we can take one by one questions where users want more clarity.
Thank you, Ghanshyam.
Thank
Thank you.
you, Chaya and Ghanshyam, for a wonderful, elaborate presentation talking about all the modalities. And there are lots of questions here. Till I see if in the chat box at the time of 3:10, it has been more about welcoming people and talking about audio. From there, I take on the question, which is from Satya to everyone at 3:11. It says that it is tragic that we are being asked to use Internet Explorer. Is Internet Explorer the only option, or can the users use any other
Users can use other platform also. But for last 2-3 days, we are facing some issues in registration. So team is working on that, and that will be resolved soon.
So you're saying is apart from Internet Explorer, Google or some other search engines are also available for.
These are also available.
They're also available. Thank you for clarifying. And thereafter, the next question is from Shah Deepal. The e-script balance on iGate. We are not talking about e-script balance. Today we are discussing a different issue. So I prefer not to take. I mean, we are here to discuss ECL, and let's remain restricted to that. We'll send these questions to the team, and if there are any answers coming in, we'll transfer them to Mr. Dushyant Mulani and Mr. Shinde, and they can refer back to the speakers.
Sure, sir.
IceGate and DGFT need different class digital key. There should be development required for use of similar digital key. Chaya, would like to say something about it?
I would request that this platform, today we should discuss only about ECL. These are, these can be taken care of at another level. But because
maybe after we take up
live to tomorrow, I think it would be prudent to focus on ECL only.
Okay, maybe towards the end, if we still have time, we can discuss it. But initially, Dushyantji, let us remain confined to the questions which are on the chat box regarding this particular ECL. Or maybe when your turn comes at the last, you may raise a few questions as you did, right? iSkate, eScript balance on iSkate will not be showing. Again, it's about eScript balance. And then till eScript balance. Service request facility. They have raised certain questions. This is from Shah Deepal at 3:15 p.m. Shah Deepal says, on IceGate, service request facility is expected to be available, but it is not there by mail. And what is the status of service mail facility, and what can the users expect if they have a problem? Chaya, please.
So, sir, for every grievance which we receive through email, a ticket is generated. So sometimes due to the long, heavy attachments which are sent by the users, it takes time to process and generate ticket number. And after that, subsequent grievance, it takes time. So, but otherwise, for every grievance, a ticket is generated. And if anything, if at any point user has sent email and then after also he has not received ticket number, those can be provided. We will get it checked. Otherwise, every grievance will have a ticket number, and that is communicated to the user.
Raising a grievance, getting a ticket number is the first part. But if the problem is not resolved, is there any way to raise it higher, flag it higher, or does the user have to raise another grievance?
So,
as of now, what is the system available?
So, what if one grievance is raised by the user, a ticket is generated, and the respective team work on that? And if any resolution is given to the user, so from our side, if the resolution is gone to the user, a confirmation mail is sent to the user that kindly confirm it within 48 hours. We send 2 more reminders to user that see this issue has been resolved. Kindly update, give your feedback. Otherwise, this ticket will be closed. So within 48 hours, if user revert on this, that no, issue is not yet resolved, the ticket is not closed, and again team will look into it and take the necessary action if required. Otherwise, if no reward is received from the user, ticket is closed.
Thank you. And then there is from Nippon Express. They say, sir, please share the flow chart. Well, it has already been discussed here, and let me tell you, This whole program is being telecast on YouTube also, and this YouTube recording would be available for you anytime the users want to see it, any part of it. They can go to DGTPS Mumbai YouTube, and there this particular recording is available. You can pause it, you can fast forward it, you can see from any particular time to any particular time. This would be available. I request you to share PPT. This is Gopal Taylor. Well, I'll share it with Dushyant Mulani ji, and I'm sure you can have copies of it. Then
today advisory will also be uploaded. So all the screenshot which have been shown to the in the PPT, that will be made available in the advisory.
so those who are the participants, they are getting an advanced peek into the advisory by being a participant in today's program, right? And then contact your administrator. What does this say? Express Industry welcomes the IceGate initiative. This is from Santosh H. Gaikwad. They say we request support for ECL registration of authorized courier. They are saying that authorized courier are unable to complete ECL registration owing to technical glitches. What glitches? And they want hold a regular workshop. This is a regular workshop we are holding. This is from Santosh Hegde. Very longish question. Would you like to see it? It is at 3:23 p.m. Santosh H. Gaikwad. Was my repeating?
So for courier agency, actually the advisory was provided, has been published long back. But since the users are facing some issues in registration, we are working on that, and that is the reason ECL for courier agency has been deferred till 1st of May. So in next week, we'll be closing this issue, and courier agents will be able to get registered on ICE.
This is from Mr. Vasudevan Rajagopalan. He says DGTS always arranges for a webinar. Okay, thank you. Thank you for kind words. But we are here only for helping the trade and having outreach programs. That's a part of our job. Thank you, but no thank you. Duty paid reports are not generated from IceGate. Duty paid reports, again, we are not taking this up. Are we, Chaya? Would you like to take this question or defer it?
Duty paid records. So after ECL, that will be available on dashboard, which we have shown that there will be a passbook kind of entry maintained for every debit and credit. So by way of that, user will be able to see all the transactions which he has made, either for credit in ECL or for debit from ECL for duty payment.
This is Prakash M. He says, we cannot see ECL module in IceGate once logged in.
It will be made available from tomorrow onwards, since
So
it will come into effect
tomorrow.
from 1st April.
Ketan Rajput is asking the timeline to solve if any issues will be there through ECL account. Is there any timeline for solving the issue?
So currently, since this will be made live from tomorrow, we are not anticipating any issues. But if something happens and some technical issue arises, then we have a team in place. We have formed a group wherein all the officers and the technical person from all the stakeholders, from ICS, from IceGate, from our internal verticals, which take care of network and security and server, from RBI, from principal CCA, from banks, we have formed a group which will be available around the clock. And if something happens, some untoward event is observed, team will work on that and will try to resolve it at the earliest.
I'd like to raise this question to Ghanshyam. Ghanshyam, if you can hear me, can duty payment be made 24/7 through ECL?
So currently, the duty payment will be allowed from morning 1 30 till 11 p.m., sir. So basically, we are having a shutdown period for 2.5 hours. But going forward, sir, we are planning to have a minimum shutdown time, which is 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. We'll be reducing this time from 2.5 hours to 45 minutes, sir. That is our target, sir, we have set for us.
Even CHAs should have some time to sleep. And they say, can we keep separate mobile number for making payment?
No, sir.
Ghanshyam?
Sir, this all the IceGate registration accounts are linked with particular mobile number and email ID. So, and we have a concept of the child users. So, users can have a child user if they want to allow some other users to make the payments. So, particular account can create child users, and those users they can have separate different mobile numbers there, and they can use the facilities.
There's another question. Please explain the process of opening ECL, which you have discussed. Pre-deposit under affiliate provisions. Is it possible through ECS? This is Natesh to everyone. Pre-deposit under affiliate provisions.
It will be covered in subsequent phases when voluntary payment is made live.
So you can look forward to it in the subsequent period. Can it be used for payment of imports customs duty? Definitely, that is what it is made for. Can amount be deposited through UPI or other wallet?
So currently we do not allow, we allow only NEFT, RTGS and internet banking. But going forward, IceGate is in discussion. So that is a long-term goal, sir, to bring in UPI and other modes of payment at IceGate.
This is from Vinayak Narayan, who says, can one IEC have multiple user register payment and what could be done by person in finance team in the company and other works in IceGate is being done by another export import person? Is it possible to have multiple user registration for one IEC?
So as in the last question, I answered that they can have a child user registration, and the child users will have a different account, sir. They can make the payments, sir. So they can have a separate email ID and mobile number linked with the child user. They can utilize the facilities.
Is there a minimum balance in ECL which has to be maintained?
No, sir. So no minimum balance has been defined, sir.
So no minimum balance, you can deposit as per your requirements. Demo, somebody is asking for PPT copy. Have we already addressed that? Can we get duty challan receipt paid using old platform after introduction of this new ECL?
So old platform will be brought down, sir. So the old platform will not be available to users. So only this ECL module ledger will be available to the users. But if user requests that they want to see the details of the past payments, so we can ask the technical team and you can look into such request if we can provide such details. So but in ECL as such, they'll not be able to see the old payments.
There is Amit Hande. He is saying, my bank is not listed in the bank list. What I need to do for custom duty payment?
So we are in the process of onboarding all the banks. Since December, we have been trying to onboard the banks, but till now, 12 banks have crossed this line and other banks are in pipeline, sir. So with as soon as RBI, PRCC, and ICE get all the three stakeholders give approval to banks, we onboard those banks. So subsequently, sir, currently only these 12 banks will be allowed to make the duty collections or for e-wallet.
So for the rest of the banks,
But
somebody
from
has to be,
third-
yeah.
But
Please,
from
please
3rd
check.
April, so NEFT RTGS would be there. So user can generate the mandate from NEFT RTGS and get it paid from internet, either through internet banking or from the bank counters from 3rd April onwards.
So 1st and 2nd, they happen to be luckily Saturday and Sunday. But
2 days, there would be only 12 banks internet banking. From 3rd April, all can pay duty if from internet banking or through NEFT RTGS. So from NEFT RTGS, sir, if all the banks are allowed, so that is not a problem.
Harishchandra Voyal says people are not trained, don't know the process. How will it work? And similarly, he has raised the question, how is it possible to work from tomorrow immediately? So that is one of the reasons people have been working, people have been paying duty. In GST, people have already been using the ECL. So, and most of our customs broker are seasoned people. I think this is something they would immediately get used to. What do you want to add anything to that, Chaya?
The process is very simple. There is small change in requirement, and duty can be paid seamlessly. I don't think there is any issue in that. Just the backend mechanism is changed, and additional ECL requirement has been brought. Otherwise, payment duty through portal, it is similar. It is almost similar as the users used to do current scenario.
There's from Manish Gadhia. He's asking, as a CHA, do we need to have separate accounts for various importers?
No, sir. For CHA, if the CHA is registered, he can pay duty for any importer on their behalf. But if the if the person is not having registration on IceGate, he can pay duty using a valid PAN number, and the ECL account will be generated against that PAN number. So there are two things. Please note this, that if I am registered on IceGate, if I'm a CHA, I'm registered on IceGate, I want to pay duty using my registered email ID or user account, I can make payment and an account will be created against that particular detail. But if the same person will go and don't want to use login ID, user ID, and just put in his PAN number details and pay the duty. So there will be two ECL accounts for the same person. One against against the registered user detail, and one against the PAN detail. So there will be some change. So people are requested or advised to make sure if they want to have one wallet and two wallets, because transfer from one account to another wallet is not possible.
There's a request from Radhesham, Vishal Jasrotia, and Sudhakar, Paresh Dharani. Everybody is asking for the PPT of this presentation. And of course, Dushanji, we are going to share that with you. You'll have to share it with all your friends. There's again a question about multiple mobile numbers. It has been dealt with. 12 banks available. It has been dealt with. PPT Sudhakar, please do not repeat the question. It rather creates confusion. We are answering it. I'm not able to create my registration. This is Eastern Online Private Limited. He's trying to create a registration. He has not been successful. What can be done for such a person, Chayan?
The user must have raised a grievance on IceGate help desk. So that has to be looked into why the user is facing issue. So kindly provide your details, consolidate all the details. These are available. We'll look into it. Otherwise, registration grievances are taken up on priority, since that is the first step towards making transaction through IceGate. So that is on our highest priority. If not yet resolved, it will be resolved soon.
Those who are not able to get registration run or are facing any technical difficulty, please raise a ticket. This is from Pappu Kumar. He is asking, can duty be paid for multiple customers through one cash ledger?
Yes, that has been replied. From one cash ledger, duty can be made to for any IC holders.
Paresh Dharani says multiple payments can be done in a single attempt. Even I didn't get the question. You have a cash ledger, you can make one payment and then you go on to make the second payment and the third payment. You can make as many payments as you like, provided you have sufficient balance.
At a time, maximum up to 10 challans can be selected by users. And in
Up to
one
10
go,
challans.
maximum 10 challans can be paid if there is sufficient balance in it.
How to download the details of duty payment from the systems? After they have made the payment, is there a mechanism for downloading the details of duty payment?
Yes, sir. In the ledger, sir, we have shown that the ledger will be available for the user, sir. There, all the entries will be there, so user can download the ledger details.
Whether the ledger will show bill of entry wise debit details? Ghanshyam?
Yes, sir. So all the payment details will be made against the bill of entry only, sir. So all the ledger will have an entry, sir, against which document payment has been made, sir.
Will the existing duty payment system remain in existence? No, it has already been answered. It will be completely replaced by ECL for all payments, starting from 1st April. Some people are asking for the contact number. I think the contact details, official contact details have already been shared by the systems team, IceGate team, and the email ID is also there. So you can use that. Does NEFT, RTGS, or internet banking has 22 banks access or only 12 banks? So from 3rd April, as you're saying, RTGS and NEFT access would be available. So will it be restricted to n number of banks, open to many banks, or is it again restricted to certain number of banks?
It is open to all banks. User using mandate form can pay duty from any bank.
There are some
Internet
suggestions.
banking or OTP card.
Some person says, Jay Kishan Changot says, is it mandatory from 1st of April or 1st of May? Apparently, I see another notification exempting till 30th of April. Please confirm. The courier issue, I think this is what this person is referring to. Could you please elaborate?
For couriers and non-EDI locations, it is exempted up to 30th April. It will be made live from 1st May. For other users, for ICS users or EDI users, it is applicable from 1st of April.
Can we have an account without DSC? Can we still generate ECL ledger? This is Pradeep Tamgale. He is asking. Account without DSC. Is it possible?
For simplified users, yes, it is possible. Ghanshyam, please correct me if I'm wrong.
And currently, for simplified users, it's not available to directly utilize the facility of eCash ledger. For enabling this mechanism, we have to look into currently they have to register with DSC only.
There's some person who says Esquire Express. Sir, we are not able to enter the authorized email ID as it was not enabled. Is there a way to solve this problem?
The question is not clear, sir.
I think, is there a mechanism for entering the authorized email ID which is required and it has to be enabled? Is it?
So user need to apply for fresh registration. If they are applying for a fresh registration at IceGate, they need to utilize the email ID and mobile number which is registered with GSTN or ECCS.
There are repeated questions about e-payment through net banking, which has already been addressed to, so I'm not taking those up. Manoj was asking whether customs broker have facility to create account and pay duty on behalf of customer. We have already answered that. Yes, they can do it. If IceGate login is not there, and if we use second option as regular duty payment, in what time will duty be reflected in the system? Which is the second option as per regular duty payment. This is Bankim Dave.
Since
Would
it is
you
API-based solution, sir, it will be on near real-time basis. After making payment, that will be reflected almost in real time.
some Hari is asking timeline for refund from ECL. Refund.
Currently, no timeline. I cannot commit at this moment, but yes, we'll be working post this launch. We'll be working on refund, and it will be made available at the earliest.
They say ECL will be initiated with registration of importers, for which importers will have undertaken simplified to DSC. Major problem faced is Java applet error and DSC is not read. This is from Sanjay at the rate Kamal Clearing. This will be the first hurdle. We request you to please share simpler toolkit for registration of DSC on Firefox or Chrome. Sanjay at 3:49 p.m.
If this is due to the ongoing issue which users are facing, team is working on that and that will be resolved. It is quite a lot.
Ghanshyam, you'd like to add anything to that?
So in this, we have already our advisory clearly on the IceGate website shows that what for Java related deployment of a software for Java updation on the current machine which they are using, that can be causing such issue. So they need to update the Java version so that this error gets removed, sir. Because this Java error as such users are not reporting. So it's a particular user case. They need to check this in their machine, Java version.
Is ECL for duty payment of bill of entry like customs duty and stamp duty? अरे भाई पूरी रामायण खत्म हो रही है. Yes, we have been discussing that at 3:49. Please don't ask us that. How can we get import ledgers for advanced authorization or EPCG from? No, we are not taking this question. Is it compulsory to get registered on IceGate?
So registration is compulsory for having facilities of ECL. User need to, if a user wants to top up a wallet, they need to register at IceGate. If they simply want to pay, make a duty payment without first topping up, they can go and they can pay the duty directly.
This is from MS Prashad, who says presently the IceGate server itself is not clearing pending other issues of general category. How can financial transactions, if any, or problems encountered be resolved? The ticket is generic and not clear. MS Prashad at 3:50.
Sir, I would like to highlight that issues are taken up on, and especially with respect to live consignments, and these transactions are taken up on priority. So rest assured, teams are there available for taking care of such issues, such apprehensions.
Fartaullah, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. He appreciates the wonderful presentation and this comparison of GST portal and cash ledger in customs. So he says it should be easy and people are already accustomed to it. It would be helpful. Thank you for your words of appreciation. This is from PLC. Lots of importers have still not obtained IceGate portal user ID and password. They say some are facing challenges in creating login ID and unable to create it. So are there issues, Ghanshyam, and can they be addressed?
Yes, a technical issue is there in the registration module where when users are supporting documents, more than two documents, there is a technical issue glitch is going on, and team has been sensitized and they are working on this. So most probably by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, this issue will be resolved.
Thank you. Somebody, Bharat Valand, has said, please send your YouTube link. Just go on Google, say DGTPS Mumbai, you'll be able to land it there. And I would request one of my colleagues to kindly put the YouTube link there. We are towards the last leg of our discussions. Which would HDFC Bank be added to the nominated bank list? It's a futuristic question. I don't know what's exactly happening, Chaya.
So
Yes,
testing is going
HDFC Bank, HDFC Bank and all other banks, all other authorized banks which are left out in phase 1 will be onboarded. Testing is already underway. So as soon as things are in place, that bank will be onboarded.
Say, Manjusha Menon asked, please confirm to which mobile will the OTP be sent? I mean, you said about the child user. The OTP will be sent to which one? Ghanshyam?
Sorry, sir. Actually, I did not hear the question. There was some.
Question is, to which mobile will the SMS be sent? Like we talked about the child user also. So the mobile to which the SMS will come will be which one? The parent user or the child?
So
Both.
the parent, for the parent accounts, the parent will be getting the OTP and the child registration gets approved only once parent user
Approved.
authorizes the child user, sir. So the parent knows that these are my child users. So the SMS will be routed to the child users only, sir, the mobile.
This is from Gopal Taylor. He says, if possible, please provide the system manager ID to escalate the issue if the issue is not resolved after the ticket the issue of ticket.
So
So if
system manager will have a little role in this ECL related payments because the system managers don't have any particular role at IceGate for e-payment related transactions.
can we pay deferred duty in ECL? Can we pay deferred duty in ECL? This is from Nippon Express.
Yes, sir. That duty payment Chalan is generated by ICS application and it is available with IceGate portal that can be paid.
Some apprehensions have been raised about breakdowns in systems, which occasionally happens because of updation or other things, and whether SMS would be received timely. Well, Chaya and Ghanshyam are there to tell us this is going to work perfectly fine.
But timely updates are sent to users through email. So in case of any planned activity, a ticker is made available on the website and users is also notified over the email.
This is Mr. Ajmer Bisla. He asks whether refund of balance amount from ECL is to be done on real-time basis, like adding money to it, or it should be routed through refund order method, which takes time.
The refund is will come in subsequent phase. Right now, it is not there.
So right now it's a one-way entry, but refund is likely to be introduced shortly. How many shipments duty can be paid under one TR6? This is from Haresh. He says currently we are doing approximately 100 shipments at one time. So how many shipments duty can be paid under one TR6?
So in the present system, what has been designed, so 10 challans will be, a user can combine 10 challans and can pay a duty for 10 challans.
Similar question is from Paresh. He says, if I want to pay multiple duties on for multiple parties, can I transfer the whole amount at one time?
Yes, a top up is a normal transfer of amount from bank account to a e-wallet at IceGate. So they can transfer a bulk amount via single transaction, and from eCash ledger they can make multiple payments in small payments. That's not a restriction. There is no restriction as such.
This is Amit Ghadge. He says, a very cute question. How much time does it take for ECL registration? Well, we have seen the whole process. The process is there. उसके अंदर fill करने में जितना time लगेगा. Did our team estimate how much time it takes?
So if a user is registered on IceGate and he wants to activate the eCash ledger, it will hardly take 2-3 minutes, sir. But if a user is not registered on IceGate and they want to register, so sir, for a registration process, we have a separate advisory which clearly says that user need to wait for 72 hours. So it takes
Yes.
72 hours.
72
for
hours.
registration.
This is from Kumar Swami. That's a good question. Can an IC holder have more than one ECL account? They say they have different divisions. For different divisions, can there be different ECL accounts?
So for each child user, they will have a separate. Suppose one IC is there, they have a 4 child users. So those child users will have a separate ledger, sir, because those child users will be registered based on their identity or the authorized person. So they can use those separately.
There's another question. Can one CHA pay duty for another CHA, the bills of entry filed by another CHA? Because initially, as the hiccups we see, as a perhaps PLC is trying to find out some solution. Can one CHA pay for the duty on behalf of bills of entry filed by another CHA?
So there is no restriction for payment as of today also, and eCash ledger also there is no restriction for payment of duty by any users.
So I think that will take care of a lot of apprehensions कि कल से आ रहा है तो क्या करूंगा मेरा registration नहीं है. Is it compulsory? Definitely. Roshan Surveji, it is compulsory. Can value limit be set in ECL for additional approval process similar to duty payment through banking channel? Or user can pay any duty in amount in ECL without additional approval? The child approval we are talking about, perhaps, he says, can we say वो 10 लाख से ज़्यादा duty pay नहीं करेगा या 5 लाख से ज़्यादा नहीं करेगा? Can any restrictions, are there restrictions in place?
Sir, currently there is no restriction, sir. So this is a suggestion. We'll take note of this. We can think of, sir, if there are a lot of demands on such requirements. Sir.
Yes. So our team has been quick to react to this suggestion. There are demands, they can be taken up. We are already at 6:24, about 5 minutes, 16:24, which is about 5 minutes beyond this. There's one question, last 1 or 2 questions which I would like to take. SEZ bill of entry payment from ECL. Is there any dispute about that? Confusion?
SEZ payment will not be currently, sir. SEZ payments will not be routed via eCash ledger, sir. Only ECCS and ICS. Both these two applications, courier and EDI challans, will be routed via eCash ledger.
Repeated questions about net banking and RTGS. Friends, we have discussed that. So, and duty script. How duty script is used through ECL? This is a question from Vijay Nambia. Is there any provision of duty script being used through ECL, Ghanshyam?
No, sir.
It's only Madam, could you please elaborate on how the duty can be paid for bill of entry cleared under deferred payment for AEO entries? This is Prakash asking. Chaya or Ghanshyam?
Currently, the user must be paying duty through existing portal only. So, if they are paying duty currently through the same portal, those challan will be available on the new platform as well. And before the due date, whenever they want to pay, they can pay duty. These are made available from ICS to ICA10. So there should not be any issue in that. It's a normal process using which the respective challan can be selected in portal and duty can be paid.
And this is from Anand Kumar Vashne. Currently, we are making duty payment location wise. Is it same in ECL?
Yes, sir.
Getting
The location-wise selection, location-wise document would be selection, challans would be selection, and duty can be paid. Those challans maximum up to 10 can be selected based on the particular location, and it has to be paid.
This is Canon India Private Limited. Sachin Mathur says that in case of duty failure, may affect interest to customer. There shouldn't be any duty failure ordinarily in these cases, shouldn't it be? Chaya?
So in case of duty failure, if the amount has been debited from the user's bank account and it is failed at the end of ICS EDI application, that amount will be kept in ECL only, and user can come and pay use that amount. So interest, I don't think that should be an issue, because by this way, double duty payment is prevented. So that is an added benefit.
Thank you. And this is a request to upload the advisory video for DSC registration with emphasis on Java errors. So I think this already has been dealt with, and you'll be putting that up. Okay. I think we should come to an end. Before that, before we give a formal end, I would request Dushyant Mulani ji to kindly sum up. And yes, with the huge interest in this topic, I'm sure, which we have been able to, the kind of participants we have been able to get has been courtesy the organizations which we have been associated with it. And if there are any specific questions, Dushanji, which you may like to raise, and would like to end up and to bring this program to a formal end. A vote of thanks also would be expected from you on this. Yeah, thank you. Dushanji.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh Verma ji. It's a compliments to DGTS team. This was a blockbuster session with more than 750 participants here. This shows that what is the content being delivered by CBIC and DGTS. Thank you.
DGTS Mumbai, जो अपना
Principal
जनरल
DG.
और उनका जो systems वाला
Thank you for kind presence of Principal DGGA Bhujbal sir, Dr. Rajesh Verma ji, Shri Ashish Tyagi ji, Shri Abhinav Gupta ji, Shri Ghanshyam Jeff, Chaya madam, who's always there to give us a helping hand for any issues, Mr. Sanjay Kumar and Mr. Ranjan Kotian. Concrete steps have always been taken by CBIC since right from inception and rolling out of EDI from the year 1995. Periodically, steps which have been taken by CBIC through DG systems like IceGate, RMS, e-payments, etc. These have been actually pillars of timely clearances, improvement of logistic performance index in the country. And one cannot undermine the what tremendous work which has been undertaken since past 6 years with rolling out of single window, Turan, direct port delivery, digital prints, online goods registration, e-gate pass, contactless, faceless, etc. This is the time that other stakeholders should follow the digital strides taken by customs. And I'm sure today what difference we find between uh, initiatives taken by CBIC and other stakeholders, everybody needs to learn from CBIC because once they decide on implementation, it gets implemented and it gets implemented with proper format, structure, and escalation mechanism. Sir, from PCB and Triple FAI, we had widely circulated this across our members at 30 member locations, and we will ensure that this initial phase, which may create some doubts, teething troubles, we are there with the department to ensure all are mitigated and escalated wherever required. We have gone through the questions, more or less, these are repetitive ones. The only few points which can be summarized, sir, and through your good office, I'm sure this will be addressed. One is regarding particular evening time, downtime, or slow working of IceGate, which creates issues on intermittent basis. The second is CB registration. Under IceGate, past 1 month there has been some issues. So I'm sure once Mr. Gansham and Chaya ma'am are already here in the panel, they will attend to it. And important aspect is to this is a suggestion that allow payment of duty from importer and custom broker whose names are who have filed the bill of entry. Let not any third entity file it because this will help to create a safe and secured working environment. Creation of nodal officer or a nodal help desk online maybe will surely help the trade. And I'm sure this is a major stride and leap forward taken by CBIC, and this will be a big reform which others stakeholders should follow because we are following up with the likes of NVOCC shipping lines or custodians across the country to go digital, yet they are following parallel manual processes. And we would want CBIC to showcase this nationally and internationally what strides have been taken. From BCBA, we really thank DGTS for inviting us for this particular webinar. I thank each one of panelists and the wonderful audience who have participated in large numbers today. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your giving opportunity to participate in this as a panelist. And we look forward to many endeavors and webinars from your side. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We have had an excellent session, huge participation, and we took up most of the questions when some of them are getting repetitive. There could still be some questions which are left, which our DGTS email ID is there. You can send it across. We'll try to answer them. And as the Directorate of Systems team, IceGate team is already here. And we am sure that with their enthusiastic presence, their presentation, most of the queries would be solved and the rest, they would take it up. I would thank you for coming together. We all can make a transition easier and more painless while making the efficient working of the system come in place. Again, thank you one and all. With this, we'd like to come to an end of today's program. If